The hidden dangers of an unhealthy lifestyle and why it's time to prioritize your health now. So you may want to grab a pen and a paper. I'm going to be dropping a lot of tips on how to do this. We're going to be talking about that. Pardon me, I'm doing a sound check as well. Let's see here. And a video check. And it's not working right. Let's see here. Testing. Pause. Pardon me just a moment. Let's see. Having a technical issue on this end. Let's see. It's not showing up. This is just delayed. So get your pens and papers ready while we're gonna be going over this. So I'm gonna be dropping some stuff. Okay, working on Facebook. On Facebook, I Love Being Fit Over 40. Or on Facebook Weight Loss Group. But I'm having an issue with the YouTube. I don't know. It's not particularly coming up well there, but that's okay. We're just gonna roll forward. Hopefully YouTube is gonna be good. I would hate for this not to show up. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think now we got all the kinks worked out. Okay, so my goal is to come at you every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at about let's see, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to get some nuggets, you want to ask some questions, I want you to bring your questions to the table and just say hello wherever you're at, and we can interact a little bit. But bring your questions, bring your friends, or whoever needs help in this area. I'm going to be sharing everything I can to assist you to get to that next level. I'm going to give you all my goods. I'm not going to hold anything back. I am a one-on-one fitness trainer. I teach here in Tucson, Arizona. I also do virtual training. So if you're interested in that, you can text me about a consult. I do that. But while I'm on these videos right here, I'm not holding anything back. I'm going to share with you everything that I can that can get you to the next level. So if you're open to it, grab a pen and a paper. We're just gonna let's dive into it. Let's dive into it about your health and fitness. One, let's talk about the dangers of an unhealthy lifestyle, right? So an unhealthy life, and if you have any questions, let me know. I got both chats should be opened up fairly well. The dangers, one thing. Now, if you're a male and you're over 40 and you're overweight, I can tell you from the people I've talked to, your sexual dysfunction is going to be way more. It's what a lot of people struggle getting it up. That sort of issue. It's a blood flow issue, and when you have belly fat and your blood circulation's kind of clumped up, it's not good for that down there. So sexual dysfunction for both men and women, but in this case, it's really particularly for the men, because blood flow was just really important for that part of things. And it's important for both sides. I understand that. But what I have found is that a healthy lifestyle, people that are healthy in the lifestyle really have good areas in that area. And I want you to be strong in that area, right? So sexual dysfunction is huge problem. If you're overweight, you're over 40, you're working, you're stressed, you're getting bills, you're doing all the stuff, right? So that's one thing to think about. Then there's diabetes, there's heart disease, there's high blood pressure, which is what's going to cause problems like strokes, right? And these are the things that we're building up to in our later years in life if we don't handle it now. I had a mentor once that said that discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. So I feel like you should write that down if you're taking notes. Discipline, this is one thing that's guided me through a lot of making sure that I've stuck with my fitness disciplines, is that disciplines weigh ounces. Think about it. The day-to-day, the exercise, the nutrition, the recovery, the new supplements, the mindset, the day-to-day discipline, doing those activities on a day-to-day basis, I feel, in reality, weighs ounces, very light, right? Compare that to when we're in our 70s, hopefully 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and you have all these horrendous health diseases. How awful that's going to feel. You're going to be overweight. You're not going to be able to have hardly any sex anymore, and you're going to be a potential stroke candidate, and you're just going to feel miserable all the time. That's the downside of it, right? That's the negative. And we want to avoid that negative. I want you to avoid that downside. I want you to consider making a promise to your future self. Think about that. So I'll use myself for an example. You can apply it to yourself. Say, for example, I can write a letter, an intentional letter. You can even do it physical, but an intentional letter to my future self. So say I'm 56 years old, and write a future letter to my 66-year-old self in regards to health and fitness, right? You can, and I'm telling myself, hey, I'm doing my exercises, right? I'm getting all my nutrition in. I'm getting my recovery in. I'm getting my proper supplementation. I'm working on my daily mindset, right? So, and I'm doing that for my future self so that when I'm 65, 75, 85, hopefully 95, maybe even 105. Have you heard of centenarians? Have you heard of the Blue Zones Project? Have you heard of that? Consider looking it up. Go online, Google it. It's called the Blue Zones Project. It's amazing. It's a study of over, and you got to know what's possible with our health. You got to know what our bodies are capable of. We have amazing bodies. So this is a study of different populations in the world where they have 10 times the normal amount of centenarians living in their area than normal, right? So what is a centenarian? Glad you asked. Right? A centenarian is someone that's over 100 years old. And these people are not just, laying around being miserable and jacked up. These people are doing outdoor activities and enjoying their life and having a lot of quality life. Over 100. See, we live in a country. This is why I'm doing this, because I want to do it for the world, and I want to do it for the USA. Now, in the Facebook group, we're all over everywhere. I know that. So we're all over the world, and I'm doing it for the world, because that's part of how I see my mission is like, I'm doing it in my city of Tucson, Arizona. I do it in my country, in the USA, and then I'm speaking to the world, right? But just to kind of narrow it down, in our country, USA, we have, I feel, a major obese issue, and people being overweight. So we have, in our country, of approximately, they don't really know for sure, 320, 350 million people, about 78% of that many people are overweight, right? Not obese, but half of those people, 50% of those people are obese, right? Now, I know people that are obese hate that term, and I'm sorry. I don't like putting labels on things, but it's just a factual term. It means BMI over 30, basically your body mass index that's over 30, right? And I do prefer to use I like using the combination of the BMI and the body fat percent, but that's another subject for another time. But we have in our country a big problem. We have fast food. We have oil and salt on every fast food corner, and they're cheap, and there's all kind of people just eating so much junk, basically, in our country now. Not everybody, but about half. I'd say, well, 78% of the people are overweight. So that's the statistic right there. So half of that number. So is half of that number, like around 38%, is technically obese. I feel we can get as a country, as a globe, we should be able to get as a group, we should be able to get the overweight number down to below 50%. Like to say half fat's not too bad, right? I feel like we can do that. But then the obesity rate from 38% to under 20%. That's my mission. So there you have it. That's why we're here right now. So you watching this right now, if you're watching this now live or on the replay, consider taking some notes, writing some stuff down. When I'm on here, bring your questions. If you have a question, my goal, my intention is to be here every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday from 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's the start time. And the times will grow as the show grows. But you can bring your questions. You can ask them in the chat. I even have my phone here. I'm going to make it where you can direct call right to my phone and ask on the speaker live, just like a talk show, right? So we're just kind of testing that, see how that works. All right. Now, first thing we talked about, we got to have a goal, right? So let's do a little exercise right now. So I know hope you have your pen and paper handy. Writing things down can really help them stick. Even if you just write them down and you put it away, the fact that you wrote it down makes it stick more. Just realize that. So I'd love for you to write your goal down if you're doing a goal setting session. All right. Now, so if you could wave a realistic magic wand and you could have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you wanted it to be, over the next 6 months to a year, what would that look like? What does that look like for you? Right. Think about that. Be clear and specific. For me, my goal is to be 185 pounds plus at 8% body fat, feeling strong and healthy like a supple leopard. That's my basic fitness goal. I have more goals, but that's my goal. What is your goal? I prefer a specific goal for you. A body weight, a body fat percent, a BMI, something specific, a clothes size. I feel goals are best used when they're clear and specific. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say you have your goal. All right, you have your goal down. Now, I'm going to give you a little exercise. Also, write this down. This is very important. You're going to be doing this every day, every morning. I want you to consider doing this little exercise, but I want you to write this affirmation/prayer down for us. I am happy and grateful now that I am 185 pounds plus at 8% body fat, feeling strong and healthy like a supple leopard. That's my goal. What's your goal? Hey, Sadie. That's my goal. What's your goal? So you put that in the framework of the goal. The affirmation/prayer is I am happy and grateful now that I am. Then you put your goal in there, right? It's not, that's how you frame it up. I want you to understand how to set up your affirmation/prayer, right? So once you go ahead, so write that down, because it does take a little bit of a memorization thing, but a few days and you'll have it memorized. You won't have to write it down anymore. Every day when I drive to the studio tomorrow, I pray my affirmation. I say I'm happy and grateful now that I am 185 pounds plus at 8% body fat, feeling strong and healthy like a supple leopard, thick brown hair, 20/20 vision, perfect teeth, supple skin, and you can ad lib. And then I say all my goals. I have them all written out and memorized. So something for you to consider, right? When it comes to your fitness, have clear, specific goals, write it out, use the affirmation. I am happy and grateful now that I am, and plug in your goal. That's your framework for that. All right. Now, when it comes to putting your plan together, now on the Facebook group, I don't have screen share set up on this. So it's really even more important for you to take notes on YouTube and Facebook page and personal. I can screen share because I'm using a streaming service. But we're going to go over what's called the five fundamentals of fitness. And I had a mentor of mine. He used to say that in any major area of life, there are only really like a half a dozen things that really matter. So like fitness, finance, spiritual, family, in each major category of life, there are really only about 5 things that have, I'm sorry, about a half a dozen things he would say that if you follow the principles, you'll be successful in that category. Well, it's the same thing I feel with health and fitness. There are only 5 things. So 5 things. If you're taking notes, you have 5 things: exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. I'll say it again: exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplements, and mindset. Now, with exercise, we're going to break them down a little bit. If you have any questions along the way, let me know. And remember, come back and ask your questions if you don't. But I'm just going to get right to the point on these things and give you the main things that's the most important that I feel if you'll put it into action, you'll have success. You'll have success. So let's look at exercise. There's basically 2 different categories of exercise. There's strength, and just basically there's strength training and cardiovascular training. Now imagine for a moment that if we have a twin engine airplane, and say that one engine is cardiovascular, one engine strength, so cardiovascular strength, and we're flying along. Now imagine if we only had one engine on the airplane. It's funny, a lot of people usually love cardio and hate strength, or they love strength and hate cardio, or they love cardio because they're not comfortable with strength and whatever. But it's nice to have that balance, right? So I want you to consider having a balance of both cardio and strength, right? So that's the ideal. That's your basic, right? And you start wherever you want. I start, if we were working together, I go over everything and start you based on where you're at, but you just start small and work your way up, but just have a blend, right? You can look up questions on Google. You can look up questions on ChatGPT, Gemini. You can there's all kind of resources. I am a resource. You just have to take action. That's what it really takes. At some point, you have to, tomorrow, when it comes Monday or whatever, however your schedule is set up, you just have to, I feel, take action. You have to get in the weight training workout. You have to get in the cardio. What I like to do personally is I like to do my cardio in the morning, have a meal or two, and then do my weight training a little later like that. Now I have that luxury. I set my life up that way. And it's fun. I love it. I love the gym. I love to work out. I love training people. So I love being there. So I do the cardio first thing, weights later, but you do you. But just consider having a combination. Nutrition is number 2. Imagine for a moment that we want to build a 2-story house from scratch, trying to build this 2-story house. Now imagine if we only have half the material necessary to build the house, how far are we going to get? Not far, right? So the foods that you and I eat on a daily basis are like the supplies that builds our body. The foods that we eat every day is what builds our body, right? Okay, right. Does that make sense? Okay. Bueller. Just kidding. So we want to have good supplies. Now, what do I recommend? I recommend a whole food, plant-based diet composed of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, nuts, seeds. If you want a complete list of my recommended diet, message me or text me. Information's in the comments below. I'd be happy to send it to you. In the meantime, I'll set up something where you can just have access to it. But I have it in my phone. I'm happy to send it to anybody that wants it. All right. So that's nutrition, recovery. Now, so number 3, we talk about exercise, nutrition. Now we're talking about recovery. These are how we get you on track. So recovery. Over the last several years, I've had the pleasure of training 3 different neurologists. So, and one is a neuroradiologist. And they all know a lot about sleep studies, and all their sleep studies say that for human health, they recommend 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm going to do a whole topics on sleep and recovery. The thing is, when we work out, recovery is so important. So I've been making that a priority. I encourage you to do the same. When we work out, when we're in the gym, we're just breaking the muscles down when we're doing our strength training. It's through the rest, the nutrition, and the recovery that the muscles grow back and overcompensate and get bigger. So we work out on Monday, we eat, we sleep the next couple of days, and we adapt and we get better from that workout. We get stronger. And that's why working out works. All right. So now that's why recovery. So bottom line to me, and what I recommend to you and those I work with, 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night. That's the research. And we're going to go with that. You do you. So number 4 is supplements. I basically break down supplements into 2 basic categories: nutritional supplements and enhancement performance supplements. So nutritional and enhancement. Nutritional supplement is like a protein shake. And I've always been a big fan of protein shakes. I love the way to make the different flavors. I think they taste great. They go well with other things. Like I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You can make a sandwich and have a shake. It's just all kind of fun things you can do with a shake. And then but of course you want food too. I like the balanced approach. And then an enhancement performance supplement, for example, was like a creatine. That's a very common strength enhancing supplement, creatine. Right. So there's different forms of that. We can talk about that, but do your own research. But that's just an example. I'm not recommending it. I'm just letting you know that there are nutritional supplements, and then there are enhancement performance supplements. And they're both a little different, but I feel like they each have their place, right? And then last but not least is the mindset. Now, imagine you pull up on this big commercial building that's going up, it's under construction, and you see the little machine with the big crane, and then you got the person down at the bottom that's pulling the levers like that, right? Our mindset, your mindset, is like the person in the box pulling the levers. It's pulling our levers, right? So we have to be in control of our mindset. So tomorrow, my mind is going to tell my body, do your cardio, whether it's 30 minutes of steady state or 20 minutes of HIIT. Eat a couple times. Get in your strength. Have a good, effective workout. Then tomorrow night, I'll get my 8 and 8.5 hours of sleep the night, right? So my mind tells my body, you're going to do it. It's not the other way around. I'm not going to let my body tell me what I can do. Wants to just lay around and do nothing, right? So our mind tells it what to do. That's the thing. So just please understand that your mind is in control, and that's the thing. And we are in control of our mind. And that's why I love the power of affirmations. Because the thing is, the mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So if you tell your mind right now that you are happy and grateful, that you are the goal that you wrote down, right? We're projecting, hey, I'm happy and grateful right now for that goal that I'm working towards. Can I get some help in here? That's right. That's one of my mentors says that. He feels like he's preaching. But does that make sense? If you have any questions on it, please let me know. But the power that what I want you to pull away from this more than anything else is the affirmation. So I want you to write out the affirmation. I am happy and grateful now that I am. And then place your goal in that phrase. Say it every day with meaning, with purpose. Maybe more times than once. So, all right. So that's how we do it. So we talked about the dangers. The dangers are bad sex. Who wants that, right? That's bad. Then that's a danger. Just feeling yucky about yourself. That's a danger. Having diabetes. You can lose limbs. You can lose your life. Just being miserable all the time. Having high blood pressure. Being a potential stroke victim. Ugh. Let's prioritize yourself. Let's prioritize your health. Let's get back. Let's get you in the zone. Right. You can do this. It just takes one day at a time. Sometimes it's 1 hour at a time. But if you'll follow the basics, exercising, eating healthy, get your rest, supplements, mindset, I don't know when it will happen for you, but at some point it will happen. Now, a lot of us need help. That's what I do. And I'm a virtual coach. I have an app that you'll be able to download right from your phone. I can coach you every step of the way and at an affordable rate. We have a new program that we've opened up. I've opened up. Anyway, to find out more about that, to do a complimentary consultation with me, just send me a text 520-400-9573 and text me the word consult. We'll schedule the consult. We'll either do it on the phone or Zoom. And after that, you have all your questions answered. We'll have a clear path for your success. All right, that's it for now. Be blessed. Have a great week. Remember to do your goals. Say your goals every day with purpose and meaning, like you mean it. And back up your day-to-day activities with exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Be blessed. Bye for now.